And we are back again, everybody. This is L.A. Kendrick from the House of Havoc bringing you part 3 of The Hell Unseen. Shall we get into it? The last we saw our young lady, Tasha, call her T, she was running for her life after witnessing the 2 men and the dog get shredded by some invisible force that she can't even identify. She has no idea what it is, who it is, or what it is. So it's still raining fairly decently, but not to the point where it's obstructing vision or anything like that. It's just a basic rain, not a shower, not a push, anything like that. It keeps coming in spurts. So she runs through the park and she runs up a slope to where she has a vantage point on a concrete slab in the hill. So she's looking down and she's looking for whatever this is that's chasing her and pursuing her. So she's looking down at the bottom and she can't see anything. And then she notices the splish, splash, sploosh of footsteps. And they come pretty close to where she's at. And she hunkers down a little bit so that they can't see her or detect her presence. And it stops and it's looking around. Apparently, because the footprints or the water splashes and the puddles kind of go left, right, and like in a circle as if it's trying to locate somebody or something or her, possibly. Because again, you can't see what this thing is doing because you can't see it. We're only assuming at this point what it could possibly be doing. And then out of nowhere, there's this female jogger running in the rain. And T is looking at her like, what the hell is she doing? Out here in the middle of the night by herself running in a park, and it's raining out. And not to mention that this thing is out here. Now the lady has no idea, wouldn't have any idea of what's out there, but there's always a predator when you're out running alone, especially if you're female. There's always something that could possibly go wrong. So the female jogger gets closer to the thing. So the thing steps and you could see it. She could see the splashing of the feet as she looks back to see how much distance she has between her and it, the jogger and it, and the footprints splish splash and they face towards the lady that's jogging by herself. So T is like, oh my God, I gotta warn her. So T throws a rock at her, but the lady doesn't notice the rock because she has on headphones. So she throws another one and it hits right in front of her. So the lady looks around and then she takes one of her earbuds out. And then T yells at her, watch out. And the lady's looking around to see who the voice is. So it scares the lady. And as soon as she does, the thing, the entity, whatever it is, it runs towards the lady and it knocks her down. And it's on her. So T doesn't want to help her, but she doesn't want to see her get killed either. So she runs down with her knife and she starts stabbing at the lady being pinned down because she can see the indentions in her body where something is holding her down and you can see her being cut into. So T starts stabbing with her big blade. And the thing or whatever it is, the form, whatever this creature is, entity is, whatever it is, it knocks her off. And she skips across the surface, the wet surface, and she skins her knee up pretty bad. And the thing is just ripping into the female jogger. And the lady's screaming and yelling and hollering and all that good stuff. So T tries to stand back up, even though her knee's hurting her a little bit, she tries to stand back up, and the lady is just dismembered. Arms fly here, an arm flies there, leg, teeth, the whole thing, and just shreds the lady. So it disposes of her body and leaves it pretty much in a large pile with tattered clothing and blood and bone, the usual thing that it always does to the other victims that she's witnessed. So she starts backpedaling because it seems to start moving towards her. And she moves closer to a bench and it grabs her leg and she just starts slicing at where she thinks that it is. Luckily enough, she cuts whatever it is. And it releases her. But you can see this yellow fluid oozing out of, like seemingly out of the air. And you can see the silhouette because the rain is still actually hitting the thing. You can still see the silhouette, so to speak. And she jumps up on top of the bench, the park bench that's just there. And she's looking and she says, "Come on, motherfucker, I'm ready for you." And when she says this, that drip fluid area seems to come towards her, and as it does, it's still sitting in a puddle of water. She uses her taser and shocks it, tremendously shocks it. And you can actually see smoke, and she's got a really powerful taser, obviously. And you can kind of see smoke, and you can see a form sort of appear and then disappear, and appear and disappear, and appear and disappear. And she can only make out what appears to be tentacles and some other things. Markings, and she's just really confused as to what it could be because she can't really figure out what exactly this thing is. She can see the tentacles flashing, and they're so quick, that's why she really can't make out what's actually she's seeing, because it's like flashing quick, flashing quick, flashing quick. And she can't make out what it is because each image that flashes is in a different position or a different pose or what have you. So she drops her taser and she takes off running. And she's in all out sprint again. Again, she's in great running condition. So she's running her tail off. And she comes to the highway where she's really, really close to where she lives, about maybe 2 miles from where she lives. And the traffic is sort of heavy, but not heavy enough. And so she has a plan. She's concocting in her mind a plan. So she wants to cross the street over into the road, to the other side of the road. And she does. And she sprints, as she's sprinting over to the other side of the road, the thing follows her. The unseen hell follows her. And it's weaving, they're weaving in and out of the traffic until they come to the other side, and she continues to run really, really hard. So she takes another road that's closer into the direction of her home. And she's looking to try to set a trap for this thing. And what she does then is pretty brilliant. She plays as if she's hurt and she's limping. So she tries to cross the street again because the traffic is coming. It's pretty steady, and then it stops. And then it's steady again, and it stops, and again it's raining, so visibility is really poor. So she acts as if she's injured more than what she actually is. And she looks back and she can see the splish splosh and the water being interrupted by the steps or the motion of this creature. And just as it's about to get at her, just as it's about to close in on her, she runs at full speed out, and there's a big SUV that comes and slams into the creature. Bam! I mean, pow! So much that the outline of impact is embedded in the front of the vehicle. Airbag comes out, and you can see like the water as it hits it. You can see the water just part as if it's sliding through, like a boat would do if it's going down and making a wake on each side. And then it comes to an abrupt stop, and it makes a really sound, and then it just stops. So the driver of the SUV gets out, and it's her husband. And she said he rushes to her, and he turns on it. You know, he goes to her, and you know, of course, his airbag has been deployed and everything, and he's looking back at the car, and he's looking at her, and he's going, "Baby, where were you? What happened?" And he said, "I knew something was going on when you didn't return right away, and I kept calling you to see if you were okay." And I couldn't get any service. Said that, it kept going to your voicemail. And then she starts crying and she explains, the battery died, but there's this thing that kept chasing me. And he said, what was that I hit? And she said, I don't know, I can't see. And it's been chasing me since my car broke down some miles back. And I've been trying to run home to you or to get to some safety, get some help. So the husband, they both walk over to the area where they can see the yellow ooze or fluid coming out of this pretty large area. And they get closer, and she says, honey, don't get too close because you can't see it and she didn't know what it is. And he said, well, whatever it is pretty solid. Look at the damage to the car, because the car is totally wrecked at this point. And then all of a sudden, overhead, a bright light shines down on that area. And it's like a laser beam on the other side of that light etches something in the blacktop. And that mass, the yellow fluid, all of it is being drawn up, and just like in a flash, boom, it's gone. And they look up to try to make out what it was, and it's gone. Whatever it was, it's gone. And the blacktop, even though it's still raining, it's still sizzling. And it has these weird letter and number configurations. 68Q UJ57. And the husband says, what? And so he repeats it again, and it's, out loud. He says 68Q UJ57. What does that mean? So T walks over to him, and she holds him and he holds her, and the rain is coming down, and the trauma of just what just happened is starting to set in on her. And he embraces her, and they start to walk in the other direction. And he calls for roadside assistance to come pick them up. And they both keep looking at the sky because now the rain has stopped, and they both just keep looking in the sky. Sky clears up a little bit and they see a shooting star. And all he can say is, thank God you're safe. And she lets him know, I'm so glad you came out to try to find me. Now, that is The Hell Unseen, Part 3. We never figured out quite what the creature was, or what the bright light was, or what that code means. Some of you know what the code means. Some of you know what these numbers mean, right? So if you can figure out what that number means, I'll send you a free t-shirt with my symbol from my fitness line, or even send you some yoga pants workout for your workouts if you're training or whatnot. I just want to look good and stylish in my gear. Remember, like, share, comment, and subscribe. I have published work already out on Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, Ingram, Nuke, Kindle. Yeah, got a lot of work out right now. Trying to put as much work out as I can. Again, I'm here to provide opportunities. And I'm here to also, take your mind off and entertain you, because we're going through some pretty rough times now. And I just want to be able to, say that I did my part in bringing entertainment and taking your mind off of things for a little bit with my hard-earned work. It's a hobby of mine, but the work has been copyrighted 2020. And like I said, if you guys want to support, you can support by going to my Cash App at $outrage95. You don't have to, but any little bit helps, and I appreciate anything that anybody does for me. I never take anybody's generosity for granted. And with that being said, everybody, hope you're enjoying this month of Halloween. Hope you're enjoying these horror stories. Thank you for sharing and spending a little time with me. getting these stories out. And, you guys, if what you guys didn't listen, this wouldn't be possible. And I thank you for supporting the work. But remember, check the dark recesses of your home. Check your closets. Check under your beds. And if you happen to work at night on a rainy, dark night, check your surroundings. Check under your car. Because you never know what's lurking in the darkness, waiting to make you a story. And this has been L.A. Kendrick, bringing you the heavy.